Sometimes an anime isn't actually bad. Sometimes it's simply crushed beneath impossible expectations. An anime can spend years building hype, gathering millions of fans, and becoming one of the most beloved series in the world. But then the new season arrives, and suddenly everyone starts calling it a disaster. That's exactly what happened with One Punch Man Season 3. After waiting for years, fans expected one of the greatest anime seasons ever made. Instead, many viewers left disappointed. Comment sections were filled with criticism. Social media exploded with complaints. And some fans even called it the biggest anime disappointment of 2026. But was it really that bad? Or did fans create expectations that no anime could ever satisfy? Let's find out. Before talking about the story itself, let's understand why so many viewers were unhappy. The biggest criticism wasn't actually the plot. It was the animation. One Punch Man became famous because of its incredible visuals during its first season. Every punch felt impactful. Every fight looked cinematic. Every frame felt special. So, when fans waited years for Season 3, they expected the same level of quality. Unfortunately, many viewers felt that the animation looked rushed. Fight scenes lacked the same impact. Movements felt less fluid, and some episodes were heavily criticized online for not living up to the franchise's legacy. But that wasn't the only problem. Many fans also complained about pacing. After years of anticipation, people wanted non-stop action. Instead, the season spent significant time building characters and setting up future events. For some viewers, that felt frustrating. They wanted explosive battles. What they got was preparation, and that's where the divide began. What many viewers forgot is that One Punch Man has never been only about fights. At its core, the series has always been a satire. A story about a hero so powerful that victory no longer excites him. Season 3 focuses heavily on the growing monster crisis. The Hero Association begins losing control. Powerful threats appear everywhere. Heroes start questioning their purpose, and the world itself begins changing. While Saitama remains the strongest character in the story, the spotlight shifts toward other heroes and their struggles. Some fans loved this approach. Others felt it slowed the story down. But this character development was necessary, because the arc isn't simply building toward another punch. It's building toward one of the biggest conflicts in the entire series. The biggest issue wasn't the story, it was expectations. Fans spent years imagining what Season 3 would look like. Every trailer was analyzed. Every frame was discussed. Every announcement increased the hype. Eventually, the expectations became impossible to meet. When reality finally arrived, disappointment followed. This happens more often than people realize. Sometimes fans don't compare a new season to reality. They compare it to the perfect version they created in their minds, and no studio can compete with that. Now here's the question that really matters. Was One Punch Man Season 3 actually bad? Or was it simply different from what people expected? Because despite all the criticism, there were still plenty of viewers who genuinely enjoyed the season. Many fans praised the character development. Others appreciated the deeper focus on the Hero Association. Some even argued that the story was stronger than ever before. The world continued to grow, the stakes became larger, the villains became more threatening, and the themes became more complex. At the same time, the criticisms weren't completely unfair either. Animation quality is important. Visual presentation matters. And when a franchise becomes famous because of its spectacular action scenes, fans naturally expect a certain standard. That's why the community became so divided. One side focused primarily on production quality. The other focused on storytelling. One side saw a massive disappointment. The other saw a solid continuation of the manga, and honestly, both perspectives have some truth to them. Because a season can have flaws while still being enjoyable. A season can disappoint expectations while still telling a compelling story. These two things aren't mutually exclusive, and that's exactly why the debate surrounding One Punch Man Season 3 became so intense. But perhaps the most interesting part of this entire situation has nothing to do with One Punch Man itself. It has to do with modern anime culture. Today's anime community moves incredibly fast. Episodes release, clips get posted online, screenshots go viral, and within hours, thousands of people have already formed an opinion, sometimes before they've even watched the full episode. Social media has changed the way audiences consume anime. Instead of experiencing a story from beginning to end, many viewers consume it through short clips, reaction posts, and viral discussions. As a result, first impressions often become permanent impressions. If one scene looks bad, it spreads everywhere. If one animation mistake appears, millions of people see it. Meanwhile, strong writing, character development, and long-term storytelling often receive far less attention, because those elements require patience, they require investment, and they don't always generate viral screenshots. This creates an environment where visual quality sometimes overshadows everything else. Again, that doesn't mean animation isn't important. It absolutely is. Animation is one of the most important aspects of anime, but it shouldn't be the only thing that matters. Some of the greatest stories ever told weren't carried solely by visuals. They were carried by characters, themes, emotions, and meaningful development. The question is whether modern audiences still have the patience to appreciate those things. So, after everything we've discussed, was One Punch Man Season 3 really the worst anime of 2026? Honestly, probably not. Was it disappointing for some fans? Absolutely. There's no denying that. The expectations were enormous, the hype was overwhelming, and for many viewers, the season simply didn't deliver what they had hoped for. But disappointment doesn't automatically mean failure, and criticism doesn't automatically mean something is bad. One Punch Man Season 3 may never achieve the legendary status of its first season. It may always be remembered as the season that divided the fanbase. But at the same time, it's also a season that sparked discussions, debates, and passionate conversations across the anime community, and that's worth remembering. Because truly bad anime is usually forgotten. People stop talking about them. People move on. One Punch Man Season 3 didn't disappear. Fans are still discussing it, still arguing about it, still analyzing it, and perhaps that's the strongest evidence that it wasn't a complete failure after all. Whether you loved it or hated it, One Punch Man Season 3 managed to leave an impression, and in today's anime landscape, that's something very few series can accomplish. So now we want to hear from you. Do you think One Punch Man Season 3 was unfairly criticized? Or do you believe it truly deserves its reputation as one of the biggest anime disappointments of 2026? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss more anime content in the future. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.